Well, apparently these aren't the only people who lost all their money this weekend. President Trump likened the U.S. to a sick patient and his trade policies to an operation in a Truth Social post last week and said, quote, "The operation is over, the patient lived and is healing. Sounds great until you remember that the surgeon didn't go to medical school." Can we go back to the first card? Did you know I was going to go back, Wally?
I thought something looked a little...
Yeah, we just take a look. This is how bad things are in the market. That one's. Well, we've lost letters. It's too expensive for letters.
We here?
No, go to the beginning of that card. Wally spelled it present Trump.
I thought it was likened. I thought likened was wrong.
No, likened, I think...
Is that right?
No, likened is also wrong, I
Yeah.
think. No, I think likened is right. Present is definitely wrong.
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure it's not spelled like that.
Yeah.
All right,
I'll get back to you on this one, though.
Okay, yeah, let's get to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
President Trump played Jesus. The next one?
No, that's right.
That is right. Let's double check, because I think let's just show real quick. Well, don't show. That'll ruin the joke. No! President Trump played golf this weekend at his golf course in Florida because he certainly couldn't go anywhere else. Look at this protest. Do you know how mad New York? Oh, now we f***ed it up. It's my fault. I started riffing and then we got behind in the booth. So let's just take it back, you guys, and we'll show you how jokes are supposed to go. But again, and I apologize, but I want you to know that it's Wally's fault.
Got it.
President Trump played golf this weekend at his golf course in Florida because he certainly couldn't go anywhere else. Look at this protest. Do you know how mad New Yorkers have to be willing to go to Midtown? Back on track, baby. After the White House reported that President Trump won the senior club championship at his Florida golf club, the Washington Post reported that he tied for first with another player. But in the end, the Supreme Court gave it to Trump. In a new interview, Attorney General Pam Bondi said that she thinks President Trump will probably be done after this term and added, quote, "We'd have to look at the Constitution." Do you mean the Constitution or his Constitution? Because they both say 2 terms max. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on Sunday promoted the measles vaccine, but only as a pre-workout supplement. Pope Francis made his first public appearance yesterday since he was discharged from the hospital, and it was a good episode. While touring a Manhattan subway station on Friday, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy offered to have the Doge team help New York Mayor Eric Adams find the waste and fraud in the city. Said Adams, "Oh, no, I'm good." President Trump unveiled his new gold card visa for wealthy immigrants last week to reporters aboard Air Force One, but it's still not the worst way to get citizenship. You guys, this is... On to donut news. Krispy Kreme has unveiled a new donut, which is dipped in blue icing and topped with green sprinkles and a sugar bunny in honor of Easter. The way it works is you eat a box of them and you're dead for 3 days. And finally, the Philadelphia Zoo announced last week that a pair of nearly 100-year-old tortoises recently welcomed their first hatchlings. You may have seen the tortoises on the MTV show 99 and Pregnant. At a White House event yesterday celebrating the Los Angeles Dodgers World Series championship, President Trump said that the team, quote, showed America that it's not about individual glory, adding, "But I decided to invite you anyway." At a White House event yesterday celebrating the Los Angeles Dodgers World Series championship, President Trump praised star player Shohei Ohtani and added, quote, "He's got a good future, I'm telling you." Not exactly a bold prediction. "I think that guy who won 3 MVP awards could turn out to be a pretty good ball player." Any other predictions you want to make, Nostradamus? I think Taylor Swift gonna sell some concert tickets someday. Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency are reportedly working with Boeing to resolve their delays in delivering the new model of Air Force One, because nothing inspires confidence like hearing Boeing built this in a hurry. President Trump on Friday headlined a $1 million a plate fundraising dinner at Mar-a-Lago. Unfortunately, due to the price of groceries, they only broke even. According to new analysis by the Washington Post, President Trump has spent 1/3 of his days in office at his golf courses, and I think we might be better off if we could somehow get that up to 3/3. I mean, we're safe. When he's there, we're safe. After meeting last week with conspiracy theorist Laura Loomer, President Trump reportedly fired 3 National Security Council officials because they can't be very good at security if this lunatic got that close to the president. Bruce Springsteen announced last week he will release a collection of 83 songs, including 74 of which have never been officially released before. 74 new songs. Did he do one for every factory that closed in New Jersey? By the way, when this collection comes out, give your dad a little space. This will be the closest he ever gets to menopause. A Brooklyn technology startup has released a minimalist cell phone that only allows for basic functions like calling, texting, and navigation. I don't know, is calling really a basic function? I use the compass more than I use calling. And finally, the budget airline EasyJet has announced it will offer a new escargot ice cream that features a snail-infused garlic ice cream with crunchy pieces to mimic a shell effect. And to answer your next question, it's in the seat back pocket in front of you. President Trump's new tariffs on China took effect yesterday at midnight, so if my kids ask, this is the new iPhone. President Trump today announced a 90-day pause on tariffs for some countries and increased the duty on Chinese imports to 125%. Where did he learn his trade policies from? A kid in an elevator just pushing random buttons to see what happens? Oh no, we're going up, now we're going down, up, down, up, down. Oh, now the fire department's coming. That's right, President Trump announced a 90-day pause on tariffs on select countries. Oh, he backed down fast. What happened? Did someone finally tell him where maple syrup comes from? Now what am I supposed to put in my coffee? Call it off! President Trump said yesterday the U.S. is doing very well in early negotiations with trading partners and added, quote, I call them tailored deals, not off the rack. Surprising, since I wouldn't have guessed he knew about tailoring. While speaking last night at the National Republican Congressional Committee dinner, President Trump bragged about his tariffs and said countries have been, quote, calling us up, kissing my ass. Of course they are. You're out of your mind. You're like a hostage taker bragging that the negotiator is being nice to you. He says he's going to give me a helicopter and a suitcase full of money, so it's going pretty good. In a post on X yesterday, Elon Musk called White House trade advisor Peter Navarro, quote, dumber than a sack of bricks. Man, hard to decide who you want to win that fight, isn't it? It was like the time I was walking to work and I saw a rat fighting a pigeon. I mean, most days in New York, that's like on the flag. Pizza Hut today launched a limited edition pizza caviar bump box. So if you like Pizza Hut and you like caviar, I'm guessing you're recently rich? A group of 309 people at a Missouri museum recently broke the Guinness World Record for most people wearing banana hats and definitely broke the record for most people going to a museum in Missouri. A man was recently arrested at the U.S.-Mexico border after a drug-sniffing dog detected packages of crystal meth that he was allegedly hiding between his butt cheeks, raising the question, where did he think the dog was going to sniff? Madonna announced in a social media post that she and Elton John ended a decades-long feud backstage over the weekend at Saturday Night Live. Weird, that's usually where decades-long feuds start. Yeah, that's right. I didn't forget Mr. Fluffy. Sandwich chain Subway has announced that it'll be offering reward members free Doritos footlong nachos with the purchase of any sub, and you know you're in a good restaurant when the food is sold by length. Lego opened a new factory today in Vietnam that operates entirely on clean energy. It's a state-of-the-art facility, and oh, what's that? I'm being told the dog knocked it over. And finally, a Bronx man recently threatened to blow up the Department of Motor Vehicles after he was told he would have to wait up to 2 hours to apply for an ID. Unfortunately for him, the line to blow up the place was 3 hours long. According to a new report, President Trump privately acknowledged that his tariffs could trigger a recession, but chose to issue a 90-day pause because he didn't want to cause a depression. Too late, said therapists. After President Trump issued a 90-day pause on his tariffs yesterday amid stock market chaos, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told reporters, quote, "This was his whole strategy all along." Now, where have I heard that one before?
I meant to do that.
During an Oval Office signing ceremony yesterday, President Trump told reporters that he wants to do what's right for the world because, quote, "the world is important. I mean, it's the world, right?" Wow, it must be so disorienting to be signing an executive order right when the edible kicks in. President Trump yesterday signed an executive order repealing environmental regulation limiting water flow in shower heads and said, quote, "I like to take a nice shower to take care of my beautiful hair, and I have to stand under the shower for 15 minutes until it gets wet." Man, this guy has told some lies, but 15 minutes for that cotton candy? I'm pretty sure you could do it with one of those spray bottles you use on cats. That's right, President Trump signed an executive order titled Maintaining Acceptable Water Pressure in Shower Heads, and tomorrow he's signing another important one called Installing the Toilet Paper so it rolls off the top, not the bottom. President Trump also signed an executive order to modernize the process through which the U.S. military purchases equipment, in case you're wondering why it's now on Amazon. A Florida middle school principal was arrested over the weekend for allegedly shoplifting at Walmart. He could face up to 2 years in prison, but he's asking for 5. The Trump administration has reportedly frozen over $1 billion of funding from Cornell University, said Harvard students, "Good God, now they're going after safety schools." We have a real fresh take on Harvard kids. A New Jersey woman was arrested last week after she allegedly tried to hire a hitman through the dating app Tinder. I guess that could work as long as your intended victim is a fish. This is one of those jokes that I didn't even get a little bit. And I was told a lot of guys on Tinder have fish pictures. I'm not on Tinder. I got a wife. Didn't need a fish picture either. And finally, about 100 residents attended a town hall meeting on Long Island this week to protest plans to open a marijuana dispensary, while a large group of supporters showed up the next day. So when's that meeting? That was a monologue, everybody. Off we go.